It's all going to come down to 3 and 4. He has the freshest tires. Steven on the old tires. He's going to dive it in.
To the outside.
Steven Parker with the
Parker
win at Charlotte.
On.
They're coming back to the stripe to make it official. Jackson Wade win tonight's race, the 96 for GLM. The one truck, Dakota Nichols, his first Truck Series win. What a dominant performance from Nichols. Kyle Jackson's going to have one more dive. Does he have anything for him? He gets all the way to the bumper. To the stripe. It's Steven Parker winning at Chicagoland. Oval tree away to the stripe. It's Oval Tree by 002. All right, welcome in to another edition of the TrakRacer Truck Series. I'm James Jackson on the call by myself tonight. Cameron Arndt doing some work behind the scenes officiating. But we are live from Rockingham Speedway for round 6 of the TrakRacer Truck Series 2026 fall season. Round 2 of the bracket challenge. We've got 128 laps, making up 128 miles tonight. The stage will come on lap 32. Again, it'll stay green throughout. Last week, Stephen Parker claimed his second win of the season, surviving a 9 caution crash fest. Pole sitter Miguel Rodriguez, and this week's fourth and final test truck driver will be Griffin Deere. EOLs to the points leaders Jackson Wade and Jared Ogletree. They'll forfeit the 5th and 8th starting positions respectively. But hopefully we'll see a good race tonight. And we'll set the semifinals for the bracket challenge. That'll be next week at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, our first road course of the season. But tonight we'll take a look at the grid here. On the pole, again, GLM's Miguel Rodriguez, thus Outlaws Griffin Deere. Then Jason Chrisman, who is very fast at IRP, ahead of Brandon Hare, who was fast last week at Charlotte. Jackson Wade, as we said, will EOL. And make sure that's happening. Looks as though they're dropping back. Yes. Aiden Lunn returns after a couple weeks off. He'll start 6th. David Leety ahead of Jared Ogletree again, who's EOL. Kyle Kendall, John Gerber, Cody Williams, and Stephen Parker round out your top 10. As we're getting set to go green. We thank you for joining tonight and hope we are able to put on a good show for you. Pace car is off. Miguel hits the restart zone, and we are green from Rockingham. Bit of a slow start from Griffin in that top lane. Teammates tomorrow night in the Premier Series. Although we will be without Griffin Deere tomorrow night in the Premier Series as he gets ready for his wedding. So congrats to Griffin and his bride-to-be, Nadine. But it's Miguel Rodriguez from the pole to the point. He leads lap 1. Jason Chrisman looking inside for P2. Looks as though we've got several cars that did not grid, including Kyle Bridges, Justin Sick, who was in the bracket challenge. We'll get to, when we get a yellow, we'll pull that up. And Devin Benoit also appears to have missed gridding. Fuel tonight, about 43 laps. So I don't know that that will ever come into play, but if it does, 43 laps on a tank. As Miguel Rodriguez continues to control the pace from the pole. Single file, Leedy gets the fence a little bit down the back stretch. Alongside newcomer and his teammate at No Talent Motorsports, John Gerber. Oh, Griffin Deere and Jason Chrisman get together. A little lean on each other through 1 and 2. Interesting. Not a lot of room off at 2, so they make it make it work pretty quick. Settle it out amongst themselves. So it looks as though there's only 2 real bracket challenge matchups tonight, as Kyle Kendall looks to have advanced based on Justin Sick not gridding, and Jim Jackson advances with Colin Lewis not showing up tonight. So those two on to the semifinals next week. But for the rest of the night, we'll be looking at Brandon Hare versus Cody Williams, currently led by Hare in 4th over Williams in 9th. And Miguel Rodriguez versus Chris Ellis. Miguel obviously leading the race, leading that matchup. But if the result were to hold and he were to win this race, he would be removed from the bracket and Ellis would win in his stead. So Chris Ellis, if he can't beat him, is hoping Miguel can drive away and win this thing. Working lap 8 of 128, and it's been all Miguel Rodriguez as he's starting to pull away a little bit from the battle of Deere and Chrisman. I've got to say, I'm very impressed with how clean the start of this race was. Certainly did not see this happening watching them wreck all practice long. Last week's winner, Stephen Parker, currently running 8th, ahead of a couple bracket challenge guys. And of note, Jackson Wade up to 11th, Jared Ogletree up to 12th. So the EOL drivers working their way through the field. Ooh, as we mentioned, Chris Ellis, really a big Miguel Rodriguez fan right now. In 14th, ahead of Jim Jackson in 15th, who we saw catch a little bit of fence. Doesn't look any worse for wear. Devin Benoit has made it out on track. He is currently 8 laps down. Back up front, Miguel out to a 6/10 of a second lead as Chrisman has settled in front of Griffin Deere. Miguel has led all 13 laps thus far. Just managing those tires at half a second ahead of Chrisman and Deere. Griffin rolling the bottom. Working to the inside of Jason Chrisman. And might be able to get him clear here as they roll through 2. Yes, so it'll be Deere to P2. Starting to chip away at Miguel's lead, now down to 4/10. Griffin usually pretty good at maintaining those tires, and we'll see if Miguel is able to control the pace enough and keep those tires under him as we close in on halfway through this first stage. Before this gets any more intense, we will drop back and take a look as Jackson Wade has passed Stephen Parker for P8. So as we mentioned, working his way through the field. We go back up front to find Miguel Rodriguez. His lead now down to just over 3/10 over Griffin Deere. Oh, a big wiggle off of 2, and here comes Griffin. A little bit of a slide out of that one truck. The one of Griffin Deer working his way up to the back bumper of Miguel Rodriguez. They come back to complete lap 19. Going to be 12 to go in this stage. Griffin working. Going to be as patient as possible with Miguel, I'm sure. As Griffin is not racing for points. But, oh, we've got a spin down the back. It's Brandon Hare. Looks like we're not going to get a yellow. There it is. We will take a peek at that. As the leaders catch up to the back of the pack, let's see real quick if we get any takers here. Just 3 sets, not quite a quarter of the way through this race yet, so wouldn't imagine we'll have too many takers, or it'll be pretty much everybody. Chrisman stays out, and he might be alone in that. Benoit obviously will roll. Yeah, so Chrisman, the only taker, or the only one to stay out, so that will not be good for him, but he will have the set of tires laying. Looks like fuel only. Fuel only is the play. 2 tires for Kendall. Lund, Gerber, Parker, Ogletree all take 4. Jim Jackson also fuel only. Chris Ellis takes 2. Leedy takes repairs. And now we will take a look at the incident that brought out this yellow. Brandon Hare pushes up a little bit. Leedy's there. Take one more look, see if we can see anything a little better. Just gets real tight off of 2. Those lanes come together. Look like Hare may have had to get out of it just a little bit. And that was enough. Back to the leaders here. We are working, it'll be 8 to go in the stage when we get the green. For what it's worth here, we will show that Chrisman about halfway on that tank, a little less than half on the tank. And then you'll see Miguel Rodriguez on a full fuel tank. So if we get another green flag run like that, Chrisman will be in a little bit of trouble. Pace car is off. And it'll be Chrisman that gets the green flag. A little wheel spin out of Rodriguez and Deere. Those old tires. Chrisman knew when he was going to go, so he has the advantage there. Can the old tires hold off Aiden Lund right sides? Aiden Lund rips the bottom. Those 2 right side tires doing work against these no tire trucks. I think he's going to make pretty quick work of Chrisman, as long as they don't come together. 66 out front. He'll lead his first laps of the season. But ultimately not too bad for Miguel, Wade, and Deere. They have banked a set of tires. And they're much better on fuel than Chrisman. Deere back to where he was when the caution came out. Jackson Wade all the way out from the back to P3 now. Miguel fighting for fifth with Cody Williams. Jared Ogletree, he's on 4 fresh tires. He looks to split the middle. Brandon Hare with an issue. A black flag for Brandon Hare. Rodriguez got put in dirty air, and the truck does not love it. Aiden Lunn on 2 tires. Out to a 2.5 second lead on the 2 Rams. Running second and third. 4 more in the stage here. Four under a blanket, I believe. We look. Yeah, Williams and Ogletree both on 4 tires, so they're going to try and make quick work of Wade and Deere. Coming back to 2 to go in the stage, looking for an extra point here or there. Aiden Lunn is gone, folks. 4.5 seconds ahead. Williams going all the way to the top, running the rip. Gonna rip the lip. Wade and Deere battle. Deere's top of 3, he's gonna bail out. Wade looking to hold on for that 9-point payout here in 1 lap. Aiden Lunn works into turn 3. Aiden Lunn comes to the stripe. He'll take the stage win. Jackson Wade will hold on. Oh, wait, we've got a yellow at the stage break, funny enough. Looks as though Riley Gosling has had an incident in turns 3 and 4. A wiggle to the apron. Oh, and he collects Gerber and slides, and everyone else makes it through. Ooh. Jim and Brandon have a little residual contact. We'll check the nose on the 70. Looks to be okay. And we'll go back live and we'll check for pit stops. Not surprising, we see Jackson Wade and the other Rams come down pit road. They're going to get tires. Ooh. Oh, no. Oh, no, Jim. That is unfortunate. He took some small damage and turned it into a fast repair. So Wade holds serve. First one in, first one out. Chrisman. Rodriguez back to 11. So I can break down the stage here. It was Aiden Lunn ahead of Jackson Wade. I just lost it. Aiden Lunn, Jackson Wade, Jared Ogletree, Cody Williams, Stephen Parker, Griffin Deere, Jason Chrisman, Miguel Rodriguez, David Leedy, and Michael Woodard all scoring points. Jump to the fresh truck of Jim Jackson. We'll take a look at what happened to the 70. Wrong. There it is. Just too much speed catching the field, and oof. Tough break for the 70. Alrighty. So now we've got fresh tires in P8. Yes, first tires Jackson Wade P8. Griffin Deer in P9, right next to him. Everyone else pitted on lap 22. The pace car is off. And Aiden Lunn will lead us back to green ahead of Jared Ogletree. Aiden Lunn out to a quick half a second lead in just a lap. Have to wonder what kind of tire management he's working with at that 66. I believe it says 4 tires, so he was not a right side or 2-tire stop like I had originally thought. So it's on the same tires as Ogletree and Williams, but he is running them ragged. Oh, Williams in the fence. Got some right side damage on that 26 truck. He is up against Brandon Hare, who has had issues. He is 6 laps down. And still limping. Might be calling it a night, actually, as we speak. Oh, Leedy! Destroys the 19 truck down the backstretch, but we do not get a caution. That's unfortunate. He did a too good of a job keeping it down. I don't know if Jackson Wade got a piece of it. Looks like he's clean. Griffin Deer past Chrisman, so those are your first 2 on tires. Miguel Rodriguez right with them. We head back to the front, find Aiden Lunn out ahead. Ogletree closing the gap, though. And I see Williams in the fence again in the backstretch. Just knocking that right front completely in. Back to Ogletree working. Fluctuating between 3 to 5 tenths behind Lunn. As Dakota dubbed him last week, the silent killer. Back quickly from the back of the pack to P2. And closing. Griffin, I saw how to slide off a 2. Allows Chrisman to get back by. Oh, Williams caught up by Gosling. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Take a replay real quick. Might be smoke. We'll hold off on that replay. Okay, seems like everything's okay as Gosling catches the fence. But we'll take a look, see if we can find what happened to Williams here as they head for... Oh, Gosling just couldn't get out of the way enough and stacked up the entire field. So Jackson Wade up to 4th on those 4 fresh tires. Working on Steven Parker. And Ogletree, I'd have to imagine, is just back to saving those tires as he's let Lunn pull back out to about a 7/10 of a second lead. The single file up front, we'll go back to see Jackson Wade and Steven Parker and Griffin Deer duking it out for 3rd through 5th. Again, Parker on 12 lap older tires than the 96, 1, and 72. The Ram triple threat. He's just going to let them roll. Everybody down to 2 sets. And here's where it's going to start getting interesting. We are working 48, lap 47. That means it's been 25 laps since Aiden Lund pitted, as Ogletree is reeling him back in. Showing less than half a tank here. So again, as this thing gets strung out, if we go green for a little while, he's going to have to pit. Jackson slides that right side a little bit off of 2. As the Ram triple threat works their way to 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The battle for the lead has started to tighten up. Ogletree has reeled Lund back in. Lund struggling to keep it down. As I said, I wondered if he was using up too much tire. He's led 24 laps, but he will lead no further as Jared Ogletree will take the lead. And here comes Jackson Wade. Oh, Lund's going to get tight, push up, and Ogletree will have to react to it. They're going to get close off of 2. I don't know if Ogletree caught the fence or not, but here comes the Dodges. Wade, freshest tires, goes to the apron to make the move on Lund. Lund to the fence. And it'll be Wade, Deere, and Ogletree looks to the inside of Lund yet again. And he'll clear Lund. Rodriguez to the inside, looking to clear the 66 as well. Able to wrap that bottom with the fresher tires. And we have a yellow. It appears it may have been Gosling again. Looks like it. So here comes the conundrum, right? We are working lap 53. That's 20 laps since Wade, Deere, and Rodriguez and Chrisman all pitted for their first set of tires. We're not quite to halfway. We've only got 2 sets left. We know, I would imagine Ogletree comes. Lund's going to come for sure. But what do... Rodriguez fakes and does not go. Ogletree does commit ahead of Lund and company. We'll see who else. Chris Ellis stays out. Looks like Jim Jackson's going to pit from the back. See what he does there, if it's maybe just a fuel stop. We will fuel only for Chrisman. Fuel and maybe looks like a fast repair for Williams. Fuel only till Ogletree. And then Lund and Parker take 4. Looks like Jim took fuel only. Gerber pitted for repairs. Woodard also pitting for repairs. So here we are. We're working our 3rd caution of the race on lap 55 here. As we double back up. Going to be about 8 laps to halfway here. And as we reset the field, it's Jackson Wade ahead of Griffin Deere and Miguel Rodriguez. Chris Ellis has worked his way up to 4th, so that is a bracket challenge battle right there on the 2nd row. Jason Crispin, Cody Williams, 5th and 6th. Kyle Kendall, also there on, he went fuel only, so old tires. Ogletree, P8, first on 4, ahead of Aiden Lunn. Jim Jackson went fuel only, so he has worked his way up to the top 10, top 11, looks like, ahead of Gerber, Woodard, and we are back under green. Little tire spin from the top row. So it'll be Jackson Wade clear ahead of Deere and Rodriguez. Can Rodriguez get off the corner? Going to battle Chrisman. They're going to be side by side. Ellis had a horrible restart. He's already back to 8th, working 9th. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly. Aiden Lunn already up to P5, working on 4th on Rodriguez. Going to say how quickly can Lunn and Ogletree work through the field and get back to the front. Ellis to the fence. Doesn't look to be too much damage on that 17. Back to the front. Lunn already up to 3rd on the back bumper of Deere. To the bumper of Deere. Laying the bumper. And we have a yellow. Griffin not going to be stoked on that, I'm sure. Looking to see if I can find who brought out the yellow. Was it Gosling again? He's got damage, so it could have been. Brandon Hare, I don't see, we'll have to see. He's got a little bit of damage. We'll see what we can find. Oh, yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you, folks. That didn't look great. I don't know if that was just Gosling being slow. See if we can hear the throttle. Yeah, I would imagine he just got out of the brakes, or got out of the gas more than Brandon was expecting. We've got Gerber, Ellis, and Woodard on pit road. Looks like they're all taking damage repair here. Looks like Wade may be taking the top. He is. That'll put Griffin to his inside. This is our 4th caution. We'll be taking the green just before halfway. Working, it'll be lap 62 out of 128. And again, Lunn and Ogletree, 3rd and 6th right now. First on 4 fresh tires. So, how does the heat cycle affect the 66 and 27's tires? How long can the 1 and 96 hold the 66 off? We work turn 4. The pace car peels in, and Jackson Wade will hit the restart zone. Looks like a better restart from Deere on the bottom there that time. Doesn't let Lund work the bottom. Chrisman did a good job getting off the corner. He'll clear Griffin, and Lund trying to follow suit. Lund's going to shoot 3 wide. No, thinks better of it. He'll just work to the outside. Those 4 fresher tires working. It's the outside of Chrisman. He'll look to clear the 54 per second. Looks like the back end of that truck tried to step out on landing. But everyone makes it through. No worse for wear. But the 66 cleared a second. Here comes Ogletree working inside of Griffin Deere for 4th. Just past halfway in this one. Here comes Lund. Now down to the 1/10 of a second behind Jackson Wade. Three-tenths faster that lap than the 96. Tags the fence a couple times on exit. And we've got another yellow. Looks as though John Gerber a part of it. Jim may have pitted to avoid the accident. Looks like he'll roll through. Looks clean, but yeah, Gerber had a piece of that. Oh, Kyle Kendall, a lot of damage on that 16 truck. That might be a tow. Unfortunately for Kendall, he is through to the next round. He has no steering in that 16 truck. Hopefully everybody's able to make it by. Griffin has to lock it down. Yikes. So we'll take a look at pit stops and then we will see what brought out that yellow. Looks like Lund, Ogletree, Parker stay out to save that last set. Williams as well. Ellis. Wade, Chrisman, Deere, Rodriguez, all 4 tires and fuel. All right, we will now take a look at what brought out the yellow flag. Oh, Gerber putting it where it didn't fit. Oh, Kendall nowhere to go. And a great evasive maneuver by Jim in the 70. We will take another look. On board the 70. What a move. Wow. It was more of the same from Michael Woodard and Chris Ellis. evasive maneuvers. And we are back to green. Sorry, folks. Missing the restart here. As we looked at that massive crash. Oh boy. Cody Williams has struggled off a 2 most of the night, and everyone does a great job to avoid him. Chrisman had a great restart. He's first on the 4, up to 4th. Jackson Wade works past the 26, as does Deere and Rodriguez. Williams close off of 2 that time. Once again, Aiden Lund fast on the restart. Out to a 0.6 of a second lead. Chrisman says 14 lap pressure tires. That's working 2 yellows though, so definitely the freshest tires. As he slides up to P3. Ellis Rodriguez, 7th and 8th. That's a bracket challenge matchup. 1772, 72 on fresher tires. That's significantly fresher tires too, I think, because Ellis pitted for fuel. And I think a fast repair. So 72 working to the inside, looking for the spot. And we've got another yellow. Looks as though, and it is John Gerber again. Into 1. See what we can find. As he and Williams. Oh, and Woodard nowhere to go. Big piece for the 61. That is palindrome crime there between the 62 and 26. Just, I don't know who you put that on, but not enough room for those 2 trucks in that same spot. Everybody else does a good job to get past it. Looks as though no takers on pit road this time. Cody Williams actually with having gone for the slide, and Michael Woodard with that hood flapping in the back, and obviously John Gerber as well. But as for everyone else, looks as though they will roll on. Riley Gosling gets the lucky dog. I mentioned it earlier. Here we'll take a quick look at the bracket. Last week at Charlotte, we had some no-shows. Allowed Rodriguez, Ellis, Hare, and Williams all to advance without any drama. Lewis, who is not here tonight, advanced through a no-show. Jim Jackson, by the skin of his teeth, late caution gives him the advantage over Dylan Hutchison. Justin Sick, who's not here tonight, won over Kyle Bridges. And Kyle Kendall beat Riley Gosling to set up this Elite 8. As we know, based on no-shows, Jim Jackson, Kyle Kendall will be a semifinal matchup at Mosport. And on the other side of the bracket, Brandon Hare not looking great, but still plenty of race for a lot of stuff to happen. Cody Williams has had issues, so just got to keep in it. And then the other one, the one that's been the closest, is Miguel Rodriguez versus Chris Ellis. They're currently running 7th and 8th, so plenty to be decided in that one. But for now, we are working lap 77. Coming back to the green, it'll be lap 78, and we are going to have 50 to go. 51 laps to go when we get this restart. Aiden Lund has been impressive. He's led 35 laps thus far, and he takes the green flag. Slight stack up top. He just puts a gap on Ogletree, who couldn't get it rolling, but he will get it figured out, and pass Stephen Parker for third off of 2. Jackson Wade looks to the inside of Parker. Chrisman to the lead. Oh, and we've got a spin and a yellow. I think that'll put Chrisman to the point. See what we can find. It looks like Williams has spun and wrecked again. As I was saying. Can he survive and keep his advancement over Hare alive? We'll go back to the yellow to find him having just more trouble off of 2. Working to pass the 70, catches the apron. Oh, and collects Benoit. And that could have been a lot worse, truth be told. So, a lot of guys fortunate to get through that. For example, Kyle Kendall with the 16 saw. Benoit hits pit road. He had damage. Looks as though Williams is going to stay out on that damage. Interesting. Working our 7th caution of the night. Business has picked up in the yellow department here in the last handful of laps. So they do say Chrisman did not get the pass done before the yellow came out, so it will remain Lund over Chrisman, over Ogletree, and then I don't know if it's Wade or Parker in P4. It looks as though it is Parker. Wade slots in on 5th. Be Deere in P6. Ellis and Rodriguez still side by side for 7th. That battle's not going to go away. Riley Gosling currently the only truck 1 lap down. Brandon Hare currently 19 laps down. Cody Williams. But I am pretty sure Williams has used his fast repair. I know Hare has because he's taken a long repair. Anything can happen. We've still got 47 laps to go as Aiden Lund comes to the restart zone and takes the green flag. Ogletree struggles again on the restart. Jackson Wade shoving him down towards turn 1. He'll clear Parker. And get to the inside of Ogletree looking for 3rd. Here comes Griffin Deere right behind him. Slots back in. Can Chrisman set up a pass again? He had just about done it before the last yellow came out. Oh, we've got one in the fence. It looks like it's Ellis. Ellis plummeting down the pylon. He's got some right side damage. Looks like he's going to be okay. Just has to regather. Reset. Back out front. Lund trying to maintain that 0.2 of a second gap over Jason Chrisman. Ogletree waiting in the wings. 6'10's back. Wade and Deere, 4th and 5th. Now just inside of a second, both of them. And they have pressure tires, but we've got some heat cycles. So how much of a difference does that make? As we see Rodriguez slide ahead of Parker for 6th. And Jason Chrisman takes the lead on Aiden Lunn. And that battle allowed Ogletree, Wade, and Deere to catch up to the back of the 66. It's the top 5 under a blanket. Just 7/10 separates 1 through 5. Lunn tries to shut the door on Ogletree. Ogletree's there. Little lean on him. Lunn's going to slide up. Try to slide back in line in 3rd, but Wade fills the gap. Meanwhile, Chrisman loves to see it. He's out to a 6/10 of a second lead on Ogletree and Wade as they battle. Ogletree slides up, catches it, put Wade and Deere through 2nd and 3rd. Ogletree back to 4th, and now he's going to have to fight for 4th with Aiden Lunn. I would imagine Ogletree gives this one go before slotting in behind to save the tires. Is going to be door-to-door off of 2. Clear. I don't know how well Lunn's going to take that. But here comes Miguel Rodriguez looking for 5th in that 72. He's going to bail as it looked like Lunn was going to throw a Hail Mary in on 1 there. Lunn and Ogletree both scrape the fence. Here comes Rodriguez looking for 5th. He's able to wrap the bottom, slide the 72 to P5. Back out front. It's Chrisman by 3/10 over Wade, 9/10 over Deere. That gap is closing. The pressure tires on the Rams paying dividends as we see Lunn tag the fence down the backstretch. Listening in to practice, I do know dirty air is a big factor in these trucks at this track, so interesting to see how much the tires are going to matter this late in a run as we get our longest green flag run in a while. Here comes Wade closing the gap down to a 10th. Oh, I'm sorry, Chrisman pitted on the same lap as Wade and Deere, so never mind, scratch that. Ogletree first on the older set, lap 54 tires. Wade gets to Chrisman. Looks like he packed a little air. They are nose to tail here. We see David Leedy hit pit road. Unscheduled. I would imagine that. Yes, he's empty. So, green flag pit stop starting for those that pitted 40 laps ago. Wade and Chrisman giving it everything they've got out front. Wade is clear. Put the 96 back to the point. Ahead of Chrisman, Deere, and now Rodriguez up to P4. Ahead of Ogletree and Lunn, who we are going to have to worry about their fuel situation. Ogletree will hit pit road. Okay, so now we will watch how that cycles out. Ogletree definitely going to lose a lap. Does he lose 2 in the cycle? See more takers. Leedy and Gosling hit pit road. The battle is for 2nd. Deere and Chrisman. Ogletree, by the way, dropping the jack. That's 4 there. Leedy and Gosling sped. They're serving penalties. Stephen Parker hits pit road. So now Ogletree is only 1 lap down, but he's only on the backstretch, so he's not got a lot of gap here. As the battle is for second between Deere and Chrisman. But those drivers that pitted want this thing to stay green and not get caught a lap down. Lunn, I believe, the last of the 54s to pit, him and Gerber. We've got a heck of a battle for P2 now, 2 seconds behind Jackson Wade as that 96 sets sail. Think Deere might have him here. Still on that quarter panel, but might be able to get him here off of 2. This Deere does a great job wrapping the bottom. Can't quite clear him. I would imagine he'll get him here on exit. And he does. The one is up to P2. Never really slammed the door on the 54, just closed it off and the 1 to P2. So we have run, we're working lap 102. Jackson Wade pitted on 68. So we are on 34 laps. But not all green, lots of yellow since Wade last hit pit road. So he's going to run this, I would imagine, as long as he can. Deere hits pit road early, so he said enough is enough. Let's get tires on this thing. 25 to go. Jim Jackson from P7 does the same. Did he get it woed up? Looks like A-OK for the 70. Jackson Wade will hit pit road. Miguel Rodriguez as well. So Chrisman and Williams are the only 2. Williams can go quite a bit here. He's pitted later. Lap 76 for Williams. Deere down and away. And Jackson rolls. Wade and Rodriguez roll. Chrisman all by himself. 8 seconds ahead of Cody Williams. Now, Cody Williams, I don't know when that last yellow was. What lap? I can't fathom a world where he makes it. We work 22 to go. Woodard hits pit road from P4. Chris Ellis currently staying out, running long here, 22 seconds behind the leader. But more importantly for him, ahead of Miguel Rodriguez. So Chrisman's last lap, a 25.5, 25.49. Jared Ogletree first on this set of tires, 24.3. So 1.2 seconds faster than the leader. As we see Ellis give up the ghost, he'll hit pit road, lose a lap. Ogletree not far behind Chrisman to unlap himself. Stephen Parker also running long. Oh, and we've got the yellow nobody wanted to see, and a Jackson Wade's involved. Our points leader, and we're still wrecking. A huge wreck involving Riley Gosling, Jackson Wade, who is destroyed. That's going to be a fast repair for the 96. I don't know if Rodriguez got through it or not. Looks like he's clean. Ogletree's clean. Let's see if we can find what happened. Oh boy. I don't know what happened with Aiden Lund. Let's see what we can find that got him spun around. Just everybody jamming the brakes as the self-cleaning track. Oh, and Hare gets some fence. It looks like Deer Rodriguez all through unscathed. But just an absolute bummer for Jackson Wade. Who uses his fast repair and comes back out. The problem, I believe, yeah, he can't wave because he obviously pits. I don't know. Ogletree's the lucky dog. It looks like Jim will stay a lap down. But Rodriguez, Deere, Parker, Williams will all... Oh no, Williams is going to be the leader. Lots of wave arounds here. Jackson Wade pitted. He is not eligible, but he is the first truck one lap down. Wow, what a turn of events.
All right, man. Lights back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
Here you hear it. Pace car has reset. They will not go green this time. As we figure out all of the wave arounds. The only two that were organically on the lead lap were the two that stayed out, Jason Chrisman and Cody Williams. Jim Jackson, Chris Ellis remain a lap down. They were 2 laps down when the yellow came out, so they waved once to get back to 1 down. Jackson Wade and John Gerber are the first 2 1 lap down. Leedy did not wave, so he rolls up to third row there. This is going to be a mess of a restart as the inside line is massive due to all the wave rounds. But out front, it is Jason Chrisman and Cody Williams. Then next in line is Stephen Parker. He is 8th on the inside row. So those trucks need a yellow to get pulled back up. Jackson Wade going to try and unlap himself the hard way up to P2. Chrisman knows he doesn't have to run too hard. Williams has a lot of front damage. He would just like this to stay green. Now just 14 laps to go in this one. We'll look out back to see Stephen Parker, Griffin Deere. That's 3rd and 4th in this kerfuffle. Jim Jackson catches the fence a little bit off at 2. Rodriguez door to door with lap down John Gerber. Love that. Ellis hits the fence, but Rodriguez to 5th. Chrisman, 2.5 seconds ahead of Williams. Parker now 3.5 and losing to Chrisman. Of note, Jackson Wade all over the back of Chrisman, looking to unlap himself, which would be huge if he can get it. He would have to take a wave around, or the lucky dog, and if there's a yellow. Griffin Deer has gotten past Stephen Parker. Chris Ellis hits the wall again off of 2. Pressure tires for Williams, but that damage is gonna be insurmountable against Griffin, who is inside of Williams and looking to complete the pass off of 4 here, and will pretty easily clear to P2. 4.5 seconds behind Jason Chrisman, who's on the freshest tires and in the cleanest air. Oh, and Wade slams the wall on the backstretch, just trying to get past and unlap himself. Rodriguez past Parker, who pitted early in that green flag cycle. Wade again in the fence behind leader Jason Chrisman. Chrisman out to 4.5 second lead over Griffin Deer. The battle is now for 3rd between Williams and Rodriguez. Oh, tight. Rodriguez gets tight. Williams gets tighter. Slams the fence. If you thought the damage was bad earlier, these two are going to do battle next week at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. As we've now gotten inside of the laps remaining, Brandon Hare cannot pass Cody Williams. The gap has shrunk just slightly for the lead, down to 4.2. So this is the closest battle for position. Battle for 3rd, Williams and Rodriguez. As we've hit 4 laps to go now. Oh, and I don't know if Miguel got tight or what there, but pushed up. Lost momentum. Now Aiden Lunn inside of Parker for 5th in all that checkup. Parker going to look back underneath. 3 laps to go, and it's back out to a 4.4 second lead for Jason Chrisman. Just 2 more miles. We got to green flag pit stops and a untimely huge wreck involving top race runner Jackson Wade. Put him up to pasture. One more time for Jason Chrisman. This race is official. And they work through 1 and 2. Rodriguez has gotten past Williams for 3rd. But down the backstretch, all by himself, the 54. Tonight's winner at Rockingham Speedway, Jason Williams, survives the carnage and takes the win at the Rock. Ahead of Griffin Deer will be second. Miguel Rodriguez brings her home third. Cody Williams fourth. Stephen Parker comes home fifth. Jared Ogletree from EOL to sixth. Aiden Lunn, last car on the lead lap in seventh. Jackson Wade, an unfortunate eighth, ahead of John Gerber in ninth. Chris Ellis, not quite enough to advance in 10th. Jim Jackson in 11th. Michael Woodard in 12th. Kyle Kendall in 13th. As he slams the inside pit wall. So we will hopefully talk to our winner tonight, Jason Chrisman, as he gets ready to burn it down in his number 54 Toyota. Toyota's first win of the season after wins from 3 Chevys, Ogletree and Parker twice, and 2 Rams, Dakota Nichols and Jackson Wade. We'll let Jason burn it down a little bit here. And we'll see if we can bring him in. Jason Chrisman, do I have you?
I got you.
Hey, buddy. Great performance tonight. Talk to me about what you saw out there and how the green flag cycle caution shaped the end of this race.
I think me and maybe the 26 were the only ones that ran it long there to hopefully, catch a caution. Even early in the race, I was just thinking about tires. When there was a caution on lap 20, everybody came down and I decided to stay out. Just really was hoping to save tires the whole race. I had a great performance. My teammate actually got the stage win, Aiden Lunn,
Yep.
and it was just a fun race altogether. I like to call it a Ginger Motorsports sweep. Got to put that out there. This is our first race, I think, together actually in this league. So it was nice to actually have a teammate out there to work with. We were able to swap positions up front. Whenever he was on fresh tires, I would let him by so that he could just go through. And it was an overall fun race. It was just strategy paid off at the end, and I think that it caught a lot of people off guard whenever I stayed out the first time and whenever I ran it long at the end. And I mean, it worked out for me in the end. I can't say if it would have went green where I would have ended up, but I like to think I would have at least been able to crack the top 5 maybe.
Yeah, it seemed early on as we got that caution, like you said, about 20 laps in, and it was pretty split. It seemed like you and the Rams of Griffin Deer, Miguel Rodriguez, and Jackson Wade all stayed out, try and save that set. And I think it looked like you guys at some point later all did fuel only as well to bank that set. And then
Yes.
then at the end, it looked like it was just a matter of who, if it stays green, you definitely don't want to be the last one to pit, but worked out for you as the big wreck down the backstretch trapped everybody but you in the 26 lap down. So executed that to perfection tonight. So good job on that. Anyone you want to shout out tonight?
Yeah, my teammate Aiden, he's the one that got me to join the league. He's awesome. And anybody or any of my friends or family that might be watching, thank you guys. I also want to shout out the 26. He was there all race, but he didn't have the pace to run up front. And that last strategy call really put him in a good position, and he was able to get, what was it, 4th? Yeah, he got a
Yeah.
4th place out of that.
Yep, brought it
Hell
home
yeah, dude.
fourth.
But thank you for putting this show on too. It's super fun. I like this league. I plan on staying around, and hopefully I can squeak out a playoff berth and be in the end of the season throwing a few punches there.
Well, as long as we don't get a whole mess of winners down the stretch, you are tentatively in with this win tonight. So congrats yet again, and glad to hear you're enjoying yourself.
Heck yeah, thank you again. Y'all have a good night.
You too. That was tonight's winner, Jason Chrisman. His first win, obviously, with the league. I'll see if we can grab the rest of our podium. We'll bring in Griffin Deer next. Griffin, P2 tonight. How you feeling, bud?
Feeling pretty good about the results. I think had kind of the strategy we were working on played out. Maybe I would have had more of a chance to win there at the end, but I don't know. I likely would have been behind Jackson anyway, so I think I probably would have finished P2 regardless. But I feel like, yeah, it was a good race. I had a lot of time for, kind of running a different strategy than everybody else with Jackson and Miguel kind of just pitting off sequence as well as Jason. And yeah, we just didn't know that he still had a set of tires on that last caution. So
yeah,
kind
you guys were all on the same strategy pretty much all night, the four of you. He just stayed out. He stayed long on the green flag cycle. How surprised were you to see us get to a full green flag cycle?
yeah, that was it was good. I mean, I think the race started out pretty clean too. I sort of, from watching these races in the past, I expected kind of a lap one caution, but I think we went, was it 20 laps
Yeah,
clean to start?
it was 20, and I said myself on the broadcast I was surprised to see it go as clean as it did on the start, just with how tight everything gets off of 2.
Yeah. Yeah. And we knew when that caution came out, we wanted to just take fuel only because, 20 laps is pretty quick to burn a set of tires when, we can only do 40 on a fuel run. So, yeah, it kind of helped to, felt like we had a tire advantage most of the night. And we got lucky with some cautions to put us back in the kind of behind the leaders. And yeah, so felt like our tire strategy was working for sure, but kind of unfortunate with Jackson's wreck there that he wasn't able to stay up front. But yeah, other than that, it was a good race.
Yeah, I was gonna say unfortunate timing trapped all you guys a lap down, and obviously Jackson taking massive damage, couldn't take the wave around like you guys, but you, Steven, Parker, Miguel, and so many others trapped behind the lap cars kind of took away any shot you had at catching Chrisman. But so you are running the next 2 test races. What'd you learn tonight that you can apply next week to Mosport and 2 weeks to Martinsville?
To
3 weeks to
Mosport,
Martinsville.
I'm not too sure what to add to Martins or to Mosport, because obviously that being a road race, I know Jackson will be super quick there. So, and I'm not really too sure on what the rest of these guys, how their road course racing ability is, but I know Jackson for sure will be fast. Miguel will be fast, so it should be a fun race. I have a little bit of experience there, but not a ton of iRacing stuff. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I mentioned it briefly on the broadcast. You're going to miss tomorrow night's race in the Premier Series, getting ready for your marriage. So I want to say congrats for your wedding. So I want to say congrats to you and the bride to be. We'll miss you, but obviously bigger fish to fry. Anyone you want to shout out before I let you go for the night?
Yes, I thank you for that. But yeah, again, shout out my teammates Jackson and Miguel and Jim, and obviously you on Thursday nights. So yeah, just want to shout out those guys. Shout out everyone who puts on this league and all of that. So yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, appreciate the time and congrats on a good run tonight.
Thank you.
That was runner-up Griffin Deer, and we'll see if we can grab the GLM 72. Miguel Rodriguez, do I have you?
Yes, you do.
All right, bud. P3 tonight wasn't the prettiest. You guys on an alternate strategy from most of the field, it seemed. You led a bunch in that first stage. That caution, I think, caught you out, cost you the stage win, or at least the top finish there. You and Griffin were getting ready to duke it out, it seemed. What overall thoughts tonight from your seat in the 72?
I don't know. It's just
the yellows, like I wish we could have a little less where there's like more of a strategy. Like I know there's a strategy now, but a lot of the time, you're switching a strategy every 10 laps, almost it feels like.
Mhm.
So, but other than that, I did better than I thought I would. I was testing earlier this week, and I gave up on testing. I started testing for the Thursday night race, but yeah, I did better than I thought. I surprised myself getting pole and leading for as much as I did, and yeah.
I should have. I did forget already that you were on the pole. So congrats on that hot lap. 2 points for you. You do advance. You beat Chris Ellis tonight, so you do advance in the bracket challenge to the semifinal. You raced against your next week's opponent quite a bit tonight. It'll be Cody Williams.
Uh-huh.
As you head to Mo Sport against the 26, what are you thinking as you head to our first road course of the season?
I don't know. I haven't raced with Cody, I believe, in road courses, so I'm not too sure how that'll go. But uh, I have a little strategy that I think I'm going to run for the road course next week that I'm hoping it'll work out. And for next week, I'm gonna just try to keep it clean. I think keeping it clean will be my best bet to get that strategy that I'm thinking of running. Since there's not like a yellow, like there's only one caution or one, right? There's only one.
Yeah, the
Yellow
stage
flag.
break will be a caution on the road course.
Yeah, so if I'm able to run that, I think it should go good for me there.
Yeah, and we've seen you the past season or so just get faster and faster on the road courses. So I'm sure you're looking forward to keeping it between the lines and seeing if you can either take the win or, worst case scenario, punch your ticket for the finale at Echo Park, Atlanta.
Yes.
All right. Any final thoughts? Anyone you want to shout out tonight before I let you go?
Shout out with Jackson and Griffin. They're pretty much strategy guys today, and we're talking to each other. That last strategy, if that last caution didn't come out, we would have had a really good strategy there. We could have probably been GLM podium there, or 2 GLM and 1 Outlaw podium there with the Ram trucks. But we did get that caution, and they helped pick the strategy there for that last caution, and it gave me P3. So I want to shout out them.
All right. Well, we appreciate your time and congrats again on a P3 finish tonight.
Thank you. Talk to you later.
That was the podium from tonight. See if we can get some of these bracket challenge guys that advanced. I can see that Jim has already checked out. We'll see if we can talk to the 1 seed, Kyle Kendall. Kyle Kendall, do I have you?
Who's this?
This is James in the booth.
Oh, hey, what's up?
How you
That
doing, bud?
confused me, dude. Not
Yeah,
too
sorry, boss. I had to pull you from the team chat. You're the 1 seed. You advanced to the semifinals tonight with your run. Thoughts on Canadian Tire and going up against Jim, who coincidentally you were the finals at Watkins Glen last season.
Yeah, road courses aren't my strong suit, but been trying to get better at them. Been running sports cars and stuff here recently, and just trying to improve my racecraft at road courses for sure. Big circle track guy, but can only get better on road courses. But I'm excited to see it. I like racing Jim. He's usually a clean racer. He's a fun dude to race with, so I'm excited for it.
Awesome. I know it wasn't the night you were hoping for. Gonna talk about your night at all?
That is what it is. Guy got loose in front of me, wasn't nowhere to go. I started to figure out the track really good there at the end. It sucks the way it ended. I think I started getting a little fast there and could have got top 5, top 10 at least, but just is what it is. It wasn't anybody doing anything on purpose. It just saw a lot of guys get below that white line and lose it seemed like, and I think that's all that happened really.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a little helter-skelter stop-go. You guys would get like a 20-lap run, and then there'd be a rash of cautions, and then you have a 30-lap run and another rash of cautions. So I don't know how that affected your pit tire strategy or anything like that. So I don't know if you have anything to touch on with that or.
Yeah, that first pit stop, I just got gas. Everybody was a lot faster than me after that. So when we had that second caution, I went and got tires. Felt really good on those. Felt fast, and then third caution, I think that was also when I didn't go get tires, but I felt really good coming out on those old tires. So I felt good about it and was like, all right, well, I have 2 sets left. I'll be good to go till the end. And then that wreck happened and kind of screwed everything up. But I felt really good with the tire strategy I had. I always try to play like a little fuel game, but there's just enough cautions there. I don't think there was going to be a fuel game, but I think it's just going to be a tire race there at the end. And wish that didn't happen. Wish I could have had a better race at the end and been able to see what those tires did. It'd been nice, but it is what it is at the end of the day, and we move on to next week, I guess.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like it was you would either take fuel or take tires and stay out there on your older tires and take your medicine and then have a 20-lap pressure set for the next run. So
Yep, that was kind of the idea.
So it's an interesting race to call, and I appreciate your time. Anyone you want to shout out before I let you go?
I don't know, man. Just our team. We've been getting in the chat every week. I used to just sit in my Discord with a couple buddies, and been getting to know Chris and Jared a lot better. And they're fun to race with, fun to BS with. Definitely on the track while we're racing and talk about what's going on. So shout out to them, I guess, and just being good teammates and working with each other when we can and having a good time while doing it.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate your time. Sorry for the jump scare bringing you in. And
no, you're good, dude.
Congrats on advancing as you have as the 1 seed, and best of luck next week.
Thanks, James.
That was Kyle Kendall, the 1 seed. Let's see if we can grab Cody Williams. I see he's still in there, but I don't know if that's going to bother him. Let's see. Cody Williams, this is James Jackson in the booth. Do I have you? Give this one more second. Funny enough, he actually messaged me. Cody Williams, do I have you? All right. Looks like I don't. All right, we'll try again another time. Put back in Williams. And so it looks like that's all we've got for you tonight. We appreciate you tuning in. Congrats again to Jason Chrisman on his win. And to all those that advanced in the bracket challenge to semifinals. We will see you. Chris Ellis will see you tomorrow night with the premiere broadcast from Iowa Speedway. And I will be back next week as we broadcast the bracket challenge semifinals from Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Thank you tonight for tuning in tonight to the Premier Sim Racing Alliance TV, PSRA TV channel. And thanks for tuning in.